Hello and welcome to a special edition of Talkin' Tunes. I am your host, Frank Walsh. Thanks for tuning in today. And when I say special, I mean special. As you know, I have had the good fortune of having some amazing entertainers on this show for your pleasure. But today, not only do I have one, I have two who are absolutely going to blow you away with the stories that they're going to tell and the music that they are going to play. If you have watched our show before, you know that my guest here to my right has been a multi-award winner. She is bursting onto the music scene. She has recently released a new CD to high acclaim. She is going to be presenting many different shows at some of the great venues around here, so watch out for that, and we'll be talking more about that in a bit. And my other guest to my right here is a Southern boy, born and raised in Mississippi. We are blessed to have him today because he is on the last leg of his national tour. We're going to be talking about some of the places that you can go and see him. So without further ado, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Ilana Katz Katz and Rockin' Johnny Burgin. Thank you guys. What a pleasure and a thrill it is to have you here.
Thank you, Frank.
I can tell you're just jumping out of your seat with excitement. I know that, of all the places you've been, you probably really haven't made it, but as of today, your career has nowhere to go but down.
Well, it's always great to be back in New England where they tell it like it is.
So I'm only teasing. Johnny, it's such a pleasure to see you. I know we planned this about a month ago, and you have an unbelievable schedule. You're all over the place. So I really want to thank you for taking the time to come in today on a serious note.
It is my pleasure. Thanks for bringing the music to the people.
Well, I try, and that's my reward, is that I meet you because I meet people like Ilana Katz Katz. So on that note, Ilana, why don't you catch up a little bit with what's been going on since you've been on here about a month or so?
I have been first of all, thank you for having me back.
You don't need an invitation. You can just say, Frank, I want to be on.
I have been so busy. I played the 25th anniversary of the North Atlantic Blues Festival in Maine, which was so fun. Played with a whole bunch of people there and solo. I'm doing I have some concert series in downtown Boston.
Yep.
Couple of festivals, the White Mountain Boogie Festival.
Yep.
My schedule's very busy, and I'm having a really wonderful time. Working on some new music as well that Johnny and I are going to be recording, so that's exciting.
And in between that, you're still going back to your roots. You're still playing in the subway, right?
I can't wait to get back into the subway. I've not been there for a month because I haven't been in town. I've been on the road so much, but I will be back there. It's my 10th anniversary playing in the subway.
I saw that, and hence the name of your new CD.
Subway Stories.
Subway Stories. So, we'll be talking a little bit more about that. But Mr. Johnny, tell the folks at home a little bit about you. I kind of gave that little brief intro, so why don't you piggyback a little bit on that and kind of talk about, where it all started and maybe a little bit of the road along the way.
Okay, sure. Well, like you said, I was raised in Mississippi.
Yep.
Both my parents' families are from Mississippi. Graduated from high school in Greenville, South Carolina. Then I went to Chicago to go to school. And I've lived in Chicago since '88. I just moved out to the West Coast in September 2016.
How long have you been playing? I mean, when did you pick up that guitar and realize that you had some talent and wanted to become a performer? When did that happen?
I started playing in high school.
Really? Okay.
And my dad was an actor. I actually started playing because I had a part in a play where I had to play guitar.
And you just picked it up and...
Yeah, and I never thought I could really play. I always wanted to, but I was kind of scared to try to learn, and I finally just dove into it, and then I started playing a lot. I would pretty much practice from the time I got home from school until the time I went to bed.
Really?
I don't do that anymore.
Well, I've heard you play. I don't think you have to, but I'm sure you practice somewhere along the line. But as far as choosing the style that you've chose, I mean, you play a lot of blues. Was that always something that was in your repertoire, or did you play other things before that, or what?
I played a little bit of everything, but I did start learning some blues in high school, and I got to see some great blues artists once I moved to Greenville, South Carolina.
Exactly.
Because there was an all ages place, and there was kind of a blues boom in the late '80s, mid-'80s, late '80s, there was a blues boom. And I would see Gatemouth Brown, I would see Guitar Jr.
Nice.
The Guitar Jr. used to live in Boston.
Okay.
And Sleepy LaBeef, who's kind of more of a rockabilly guy.
Right, right.
But it was very, they made a big impression, especially Guitar Jr., Eddie Clearwater, and because they were all ages blues shows, or either they would let me in or something. So
now, when you were playing with these people, did they mentor you at all? Did they, kind of take you under their wing? Or
I just went to go see them.
Teach you some stuff?
I just went to go see them.
You just went and saw them, okay.
And pretty much the guy that really mentored me the most, the people who really mentored me was once I got to Chicago. Then when I went to Chicago, I sat in with Tail Dragger, and I realized I couldn't actually play at all, and had to start all over again. Just throw everything away and start all over.
Now, obviously Chicago has Chicago blues, and then you get your St. Louis blues. You get all different kinds of flavors of blues. Is it easy or difficult to make the transition from one style to another?
Well, it's like learning a language. I mean, learning Spanish is easy if you live in Mexico or if you live in Spain or something.
Okay.
And you just have to use it, and you have to listen to it all the time, and you have to think in that way. Then you can learn it. So that's how I learned Chicago blues. And I pretty much went out every night somehow I managed to get through college. I actually dropped out for a while, and then I was walking down the street one day, and I realized if I don't go back and finish now, I'm never going to finish.
Good for you.
And so I finished, but it was kind of a miracle because I was going out like practically every night. And that was all I was thinking about, and it was all I was doing. I was like a kid in a candy store.
Were your parents supportive? I know you said your dad was an actor, or was he somewhat supportive of your music, or did he try to steer you into the theater at all? Or
he did. He didn't really try to steer me into theater. He was happy with the music, and they were both, I guess, happy enough, but they were a little apprehensive. But I remember in '91, I played the Chicago Blues Festival with John Brim and Big Wheeler and Yank Rachel.
Okay.
And I just called my parents and I said, I just paid my rent in an hour and a half. And that was the key, I think, to overcoming their objections. I think they were a little afraid I would get mixed up with the wrong company.
Right.
But
no. Would you consider that the moment, because sometimes, sometimes it takes 10 years to become an overnight success,
I haven't, still working on that.
Really? Well, you must have had some moment along the way, like the one you just described. Was there any kind of a breakthrough moment for you where, like that, where you might have had this epiphany or a catharsis where you said, wow, I am really good. I can play with these big boys and gals. I can get out there and do that. And then that path just went from a bumpy road to a nice smooth highway. Was there any moment like that?
When I got on Delmark, that was a big deal.
Okay.
Because some of my favorite records were on Delmark, and Delmark is a very well-known, for blues fans and for jazz fans, it's a very well-known label.
Right.
It was a mom and pop label for the longest time. It was recently sold, but it was like the oldest mom and pop label in the country.
Did they find you, or did you have to go to them? Like, were there, the old?
I started out as a sideman, and I was playing with some people who were also recording for Delmark, so they knew me. I was sort of on their radar screen. Then they came to see me at this place where I played every Monday night called the Smoke Daddy, and I had built up an audience there, and then he signed, that he wanted to do something with me. And I guess that's when I realized, hey, I'm actually making a record for Delmark under my own name.
Nice.
And that same week I went to Europe. I played for my first time, and I played in Utrecht with Tail Dragger. So I had 3 goals when I started playing music. I wanted to play music every weekend, I wanted to go to Europe, and I wanted to make our CD. And so it all kind of happened at once.
Well, what other goal do you have in the pipeline? You must have another one now since you hit those. Do you have any other goals?
It's kind of weird when you hit some of these goals and then you have this strange now what thing. But now I'm just really what I've worked on the last few years is really making it, really bringing the music to the people. And
you certainly do that.
Making it worldwide.
You certainly do that.
That's my goal.
How did you guys get together?
Well, we have a mutual friend who's a big influence on both of us, Bobby Radcliffe, who's on my second record.
Yes.
And I had heard about Johnny from Bobby, and then Johnny wanted to do some touring in this area, and so we connected. And any friend of Bobby's is a friend of mine, and we just connected that way, and it's been great.
Yeah.
Really have a nice time. Yeah.
Any future plans with the two of you? Maybe collaborating and recording together,
Well,
or
we're-
doing some projects?
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
We actually have been working on some new music. Johnny recorded a song that we wrote together that's on his new record, which I'm so excited about.
Folks, we are going to be back in a little bit, but in the meantime, I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the stylings of Ilana Katz Katz and Rockin' Johnny Burgin.
I'm a woman, play the blues. And people ask me, what's it like on that man's stage? I'm a woman, play the blues. And people ask me, what's it like on that man's stage? It's an old man's world. I gotta fight for that man's way. I'm a woman, play the blues. You know I don't play no guitar. I'm a woman, play the blues. You know I don't play no guitar. When you hear me play my blues, stick your money in my tip jar. I'm a woman, play the blues. You know I play them everywhere I go. I'm a woman, play the blues. You know I play them everywhere I go. Sometimes I'm praying, sometimes I'm letting myself go. Johnny, let go. don't get no respect except by those who know what's real. I went downtown with the devil. She said, drink this honey wine. One tiny sip, I lost all track of time. She whispered in my ear, I see inside your mind. I'll wipe away your sins. Just sign this dotted line. I'm with the devil. She's sitting right here next to me. I'm with the devil. You know she's right on Beale Street. I stared at that paper. She handed me that pen. She said, you know you want to just sign and then you're in. She put her hand on mine, forced my pen to the paper. I fell to devil darkness. I saw the angels floating feather. I'm with the devil. She's sitting right here next to me. I'm with the devil. You know her smile won't let me be. I will not sell my soul. My sins, they are all mine. I'll live with them inside me until the end of time. I'm with the devil. You know she's right here next to me. I'm with the devil. You know the angels set me free. The angels set me free. Angels set me free. Angels set me free. I'm with the devil. She's sitting right here next to me. I'm with the devil. You know the angels set me free. Angels set me free. Angels set me free. Angels set me free.
All right, this song is called I Got to Find Me a Woman. I know my wife's going to write a song called I Got to Find Me a Man, but I got to find me a woman. I don't want to run around. I got to find me a woman. I don't want to run around. 'Cause the one I got now, I think she's gonna put me down. Yeah, I got to find me a woman that wanna love me every day. Yeah, I got to find me a woman that wanna love me every day. 'Cause the one I got now don't do a doggone thing that I suggest.
find me a woman. I got to find me a woman. Got to find me a woman. Here's another one. This is another one. My wife comes up with the best song titles. This one is called Your Charm Won't Help You.
I hear that.
And it goes like this. Your charm won't help you. It won't work this time. Charm won't help you. It won't work this time. If I'm backed in a corner, I'm gonna strike out blind. You tried to fool me. You tried to break the rule. You tried to fool me. You tried to break the rules. If you think I'm gonna go for that, better go on back to school. Your charm is faded. I see through your saucy grin. Charm has faded. I see through your saucy grin. Smiling in my face, but you're not acting like my friend. So beguiling, you charm the scales right off a snake. You're so beguiling, charm the scales right off a snake. But you off your attraction when you made your last mistake.
Wow.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I mean, you did not disappoint. I told you at home that you were going to be in for a treat. That was absolutely amazing. That was absolutely amazing. You know, is there anything else that you think you want to talk about, or anything that we may not have covered today that you would like to chat about?
I want to mention my big show
and your
coming
big gig
up.
coming
yeah,
up
so
too.
this is my 10th anniversary of playing in the subway once a week when I'm not touring around.
And which subway is that for
Usually it's
many
on
viewers?
the Red Line.
Yes.
It's first come, first serve. I always put it up on my Facebook page, and you can find all my shows and information on just ilanakatz.com, ILANAKATZ. And So I am doing a show. It's a Woman in Blue show, although Jesse Williams, who we've been talking about, is going to be on it.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
Is he going to
who's
wear like a
drumming on
woman's
it.
wig or
I don't
something? Is he going to be in
know.
disguise or?
So we have the great Ray Gordon from Portland, Oregon.
Unbelievable.
And Pam Taylor
Yep.
from South Carolina, North
Yep.
Carolina. And it's going to be celebrating my 10th anniversary in the Subway. And I am going to be, as I dedicated my Subway Stories record to the Killer Headstone Project, which places headstones for unmarked graves of blues men and women.
Wow.
They just placed their 100th headstone, and I'm so proud to be giving a lot of my Subway earnings when I get it to them, and I'm personally, from my pocket, giving $1 from every ticket sold to from my show at 9 Wallace. Go to 9wallace.com, buy a ticket to that show on October 12th, and $1 from every ticket I'm going to donate to the Killer Headstone Project until every man and woman who worked so hard before us and suffered so much has a headstone. So that's, I'm excited about that.
For you. Now you guys have some projects that you're working on, or some things that you want to talk about a little bit?
She wrote a great song, and I sort of retooled it, and I did it for a CD that I've recorded with Kike Gomez that's not been released yet. It's called Dos Hombres Wanted.
Okay.
Kike is a wonderful harmonica player from Madrid,
Nice.
Spain, and we've toured together often over the years in Europe and in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So we made a record together. We recorded it in Austin. So I did one of her songs called Coffee Can Blues.
Nice.
Which we did. And since I've been visiting in New England, we've been spending some time together working on some new material, which we'll be recording on this little trip that I'm doing.
Cool. I want to give a little bit of shout out to some of the people we have for guests in there. You had mentioned your wife earlier, so we have the lovely Stephanie here.
Yes, we do. And Stephanie produced a really cool CD called Howlin' at Greaseland, and I got to contribute to that. And it's really her project, but I helped out and played some on it. It's a tribute to the music of
Great
Howlin' Wolf,
record.
with a lot of great various artists on there. And it was up for a BMA, so that's my first BMA nomination.
Congratulations. And thank you once again. And also, I could not do this show without the support of Smack TV and my award-winning director, Roxanne Morse. She pushes the buttons and makes us look pretty. And once again, go out, support your local musicians. They can't do it without you. So once again, for my guest, Ilana and Rockin' Johnny, I am Frank Walsh. Tune in and tune on.